First step is complete surrender. The second step, you have to destroy some idols. It may be a good thing. Your idol may be work. That's a good thing. But if it has higher priority than things of God, a good thing can become a bad thing. What is that you must have? What is the audience that you're living for? Who are those that we want to approve of us? They can become idolaters. Anything, a house, money, positions, pleasure, sex can become an idol. And it takes the place of God. So first of all, we have to tear down those idols in order to draw near to God and God to draw near to us. Complete surrender, then there's destruction of idols.
What is your name and what sport did you play?
Well, students don't really know that my first name is Jimmy, but I'm Jimmy Shantz, and I played 4 years high school basketball, 4 years of high school golf, and 1 year of homeschool league high school football.
What was your favorite sport growing up and how many years did you play it?
I loved basketball growing up. I still love playing basketball. Man, I remember, shooting around as a really little kid in the driveway, and I played 4 years of high school basketball.
Who's your biggest role model in sports and why?
I think it'd have to be some college basketball coach that I, grew up and respected growing up. Tony Bennett, he, I think really sees things in perspective, really cares about his players and their development, and didn't seem to be totally set on just winning games.
How many hours a week do you think you played this sport?
In the season, you're spending 2 or 3 hours a night in preparation for practice, and then practices. Game nights, can be 4 or 5 hours worth of time all day on Saturday. So at the end of the day, during the season, you're probably spending, north of a 15, 20-hour week doing this activity.
What sacrifices did you make for your sport?
Yeah, that's a great question, Zeke. I think some were good sacrifices where I elected to maybe not go and get myself into some trouble because I wanted to go and play basketball. If I look back now and think about my high school experience, spent a lot more time worrying about basketball than I did about just some big questions in life. I spent a lot of Sundays going to go play AAU tournaments instead of prioritizing going to church, and I remember that was a big discussion even among my parents, but for some reason basketball got to win out. I think looking back at that, that's probably not the right way to have approached things growing up.
Do you think this sport ever became an obsession for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that as Christians, one thing that we really struggle with is sports idolatry, which I think is your main topic here, and that's because it seems to be allowed. It's like in Christian circles, other idols are looked down upon. Things like an obsession with possessions or getting up to some behavior we shouldn't be involved in. But sports, we kind of are just like, well, it's okay, it's good, but like anything, that can take over our lives. And I definitely saw that in my own life growing up, and that's something I've grappled with as I've gotten older.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you betcha.
Fierce aggression and competition is in the heart of every athlete. Athletes strive to be the best version of themselves that they can be. Sports have been around for thousands of years. As well, for thousands of years, people have identified and obsessed with sports. Sport obsession and abuse is not a new concept, but one that has been around since the beginning of sports. In the Greek culture, Olympians would dedicate their lives to their sport. Every waking moment, they would train to be the best. Even in old Indian tribes, the losers of the sport would be slaughtered. Sports in our culture today are very prioritized. It is very common to see people leave church to go play in a game. But what makes sports idolatry acceptable in society but other idols aren't? As people know, sports are good for the human body. They teach persistence, determination, and discipline. There are benefits to sports, such as fame, physical fitness, and popularity. One of the reasons that people are okay with sport idolization is because everyone thinks that sports are good for you, and though they are, too much of anything isn't. Though society claims that this is acceptable, the Bible is clear that any obsession or idol is unpleasing to God. Too much of anything is an issue because we as Christians are to dedicate our lives to Christ, not to anything else. Live unto the Lord and not unto man. The verse Colossians 3:2 says, "Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things." What is your name and what sport do you play?
My name is Owen and I play basketball.
How many years have you played the sport?
Since I was 6, so 7 years.
What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is basketball.
And who's your biggest role model?
Michael Jordan.
So, Owen, what sacrifices have you made for your sport?
One of my sacrifices was breaking my arm.
In your opinion, do you think you have ever become obsessed with your sport?
Yes, I've been playing basketball a lot.
Do you ever see other kids become obsessed with their sports?
Yes.
What do you have to say about this?
So, yeah, I've seen a lot of kids play basketball and stuff. I mean, and they wanted to be in the NBA one day and trash talk and talk about basketball a lot.